Now it's time to go back in time.
Stay safe, and maybe the next time we have you on, you can cook something for us. Is that cool?
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't have my cooking utensils. I don't have my apron here. So it's once I get back to my house, when we get out of the rental, we'll pan flip together.
Yeah, perfect.
Just got to get the scoop right.
Sounds good. And Millar wants you to tweet out a photo of you sunbathing in a Speedo a little bit later. So good luck.
We can do that. I got some short ones on right now.
Easy there. A little too much.
We just went back in time.
All right, Trevor Williams. We scoured your social media. We did not see one Speedo pic. Why'd you disappoint us?
Well, I got nervous once I showed the short shorts. I thought that was enough. And I was told never do it again. So I got pants on this time. I'm not going to prove it, but I have pants on.
Okay. So we couldn't find that, but we did see you getting ready for spring training 2.0 or summer camp or whatever it is. So did you show up with the floaties and the mask and the full bit or not?
Not yet. Once I get the clearance to go to PNC Park, I think I might have fun with it and show up with some floaties. But it was wild today with intake. It was it was almost comical because I just wasn't used to it. I've never taken a COVID test before, and just seeing everybody in their full suits and face mask and everything was very regimented, and it was good, and it was just comical seeing it for the first time. But this is our new reality. This is what it's going to be, and if this is what we have to do every day to play this season, by all means, let's do it.
So take us through that process when you're getting your COVID test. Now, I know there's a lot of different tests out there. I've heard of the saliva test. You have the blood prick test. You have obviously the one that goes way up in the nose test where the eyes water. Which tests were you doing, and take us through that process, because this is unique.
Yeah, so today they did a standard temperature check on the forehead when you got in, and then we had to spit in a tube for the initial one, and then we did a finger prick for, I guess it was the test for antibodies. So hopefully it doesn't take 48 hours. Hopefully it takes sooner, so I can get to PNC Park and start, and everyone can start training together again. So, but this protocol is what we did today. I think we're going to have to do at least a temperature check every day starting in season, and who knows if we're going to have to take more saliva tests. And I hope we don't have to do through the nose, because that sounds horrible. Yeah.
So Trevor, I know you guys have to be socially distant. Did you get a chance to see any other campers today on day one and wave from a distance and give the social distant hug?
It is weird because the first day of spring training, you're so happy to see everybody, and you want to give them a hug, and you want to touch their muscles. Wow, you've been working out this off season. And it's funny now with the quarantine. It could have gone either one or two ways. You're either coming back in great shape or you're not. And so I got to see some guys today. Everyone was in shape, so that was good. And it's just strange. You haven't seen your manager in weeks. You haven't seen your teammates in weeks, and the first thing you want to do is shake their hand. But we settled for elbow taps. So we'll see what happens this year. I'm going to be interested to see what happens when the team wins the World Series. If they're going to hug, if they're not, what celebrations are going to look like for homers and everything. So, but yeah, I was glad I got to see a couple of teammates today.
All right, Trevor, we know you got nasty stuff in the mound, okay? And we know now the National League is going to have the DH. And I want to run some video right here of you. I want to know, are you going to miss getting in the batter's box and doing what you do best, which is right here, a great batting stance? Not hitting the baseball, just a great batting stance, Trevor.
The trick is the same with on the mound. You have to look scary on the mound, right? So if you look scary in the box, maybe the pitcher will give you something. No, so right when I got called up, it was like I had a big stance. I'm going to hit a homer every time, and then I was just told you're not going to hit a homer. Just try and fight it. So that was my defensive stance with two strikes, widen out, gnash my teeth. It worked a couple times, believe it or not. It worked a couple times. But I'm good hanging my helmet and my cleats up, hitting 107 in my career batting average. So I'm good with that.
Well, all right. So which of your fellow pitchers is the guy who's going to miss hitting the most? Because there's always one guy who thinks that he could be an everyday ball player if he played in 150 games.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stephen Brawl had a really good chance of being special. If he got the ball 32 times, and he's hitting a lot, he had a really good chance to at least be in the conversation for Silver Slugger. So he's going to miss it. Joe Musgrove loves hitting. We all love bunting, and we love that. That was one thing that we really like to do at the park before our workday was to get out on the field and bunt. So that part of the workday we're going to miss, but. I tell you what, trying to bunt 95 sinkers is not fun, and it's just we don't need to do that, especially when the realization between a starter versus a reliever too. When you're a starting pitcher and you get to hit against a reliever, that's different stuff. That's electric stuff. Not that starters don't have electric stuff, but the slider out of the bullpen is just a little different than a slider from a starter.
Just real quick, what he said is right. We act like the bunt is the easy thing. I mean, they love getting in the batter's box for pitchers BP, and you have your home run derby, but bunting in the game and bunting during batting practice are two different animals, correct, Trevor?
Yeah, it's bunting, I like to say, is the hardest, easiest thing to do on the baseball field. Like there's like 3 checkpoints, you have to do it, and you have to commit to it, and if you don't, you're gonna look like an idiot and you're not gonna get the bunt down. So that's why I like saying it's the hardest, easiest thing to do. And when you're getting BP, it's almost harder to bunt a slow fastball. But until you see the 95 and you see that extra jump that you don't get to experience in the cage or anything, it's just different. But it's just repeating the motions, repeating the bunts, and being comfortable with it in the box.
So, Trevor, on days where you are not the starter, according to the protocol, you have to sit in the stands. So have you already figured out where you're going to sit, and do you plan on heckling any of your teammates from there?
So I've never had a real grand tour of PNC Park. I've only had one view of it my entire career, and it's from the dugout. So I'm going to scope out some spots. I might sit up at the rotunda and throw sunflower seeds down at our left fielder and start yelling at guys. But it's going to be interesting. Where you have to create some type of atmosphere, some type of crowd noise. So we'll see. Is it going to last? They might just send us to the clubhouse and say, to get out of the sun. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and I think it's going to change every week. But I'm looking forward to being a fan for those 4 games and really being a fan by sitting in the stands.
All right. So Trevor, you made an interesting decision. You have left your young family. You have 3 kids that are all 4 or younger, and your wife back in Arizona. Tell us about how you came to that decision, and was there ever any talk of you not playing in 2020?
I think there was never any talk of me not playing. I'm at like an interesting juncture in my career where I'm in my first year arbitration, right? So we were counting on this salary, and for me to not play, it sets us back what we thought. So the hard decision was, why don't you guys stay back and I just go play? And there's still just too many unknowns where we could be playing in Pittsburgh for a month, and then they might send us to a bubble city, and then in the event that I get COVID, when am I going to be quarantined with my family in my apartment for 2 weeks where they can't go out anywhere as well? So there were just a lot of question marks, and everyone's been making sacrifices since the quarantine has happened. And we decided as a family, it's a sacrifice we're going to have to make for 3 months, possibly 4, to just do that, where I go and play baseball and Mama stays home with the babies and becomes more of a superhero than she already is.
No doubt. Now, during this quarantine, obviously, players have had to do a lot on their own, okay? There hasn't been spring training. People have been locked up, throwing on their own, hitting on their own, doing what they do. So now we know that this is going to be a quick summer camp. That being said, how quick do you think, I guess, the pitchers are going to be ready to kind of go out there, maybe get 5+ innings for starters or relievers or hitters? What do you think now the process is going to be having to move quick?
It's going to be different. So like the lives that we've been throwing at home have just been different. So I've been throwing to junior college kids, some minor league guys, and maybe every once in a while we have a big leaguer show up. But now those 4-inning sim games are going to be a lot different than the 5-inning inter-squad games against our own guys. So just how the body recovers from that in these 3 weeks, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I'm confident in the work that I put in while I was home, that it's going to hopefully be a seamless transition. And so, as well as, our starters and our position players too. I think the hitters, I think, are going to be the ones that are going to be a little behind getting their bat speed back up, because they've been seeing, only cage work or tee work.
So, Trevor, one thing you have been working on during quarantine was your cooking. And we asked you about it last time, and you said, well, I didn't have all my utensils in place and stuff like that. Now that you're on your own, can you whip up something for us real quickly, or what?
I'm in the middle of cooking my dinner. So if you guys want to, I'll do one good.
Yes.
I'll do one good pan flip.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Yes. I'm in like a corporate housing. I'm in like a corporate housing rental. So like I don't know what we have until today. So I'll give you one good pan flip. I'm making a little Asian stir fry, if you will.
Nice.
Yes.
I don't even.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope that stays.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
It's not on. So I gotta turn the pan on. And it's not, I'm gonna be bougie right here, but it's not cast iron, right? It's got to be cast iron, but it's not. I'm not gonna complain though. I will do my best. Here, I'm gonna get this set up. Hopefully the iPad doesn't fall.
So it's electric. Electric's tougher also, right off the get-go. We need gas and cast iron. Boom.
That's just ideal. If you could
we
get
go.
cast iron, that's just ideal. Oh, it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna do my best, all right?
Yep.
Yep. I love it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
I'm professional. That's all you have to do.
That's
That's
impressive.
all you have to do, and people know that you went to culinary school.
Yeah. I'm just happy that your dinner didn't end up on the floor and then you would have had to restart. We would have felt terribly about that. Good work.
That's all right. I got
work.
nothing to do the rest of the night, so it's all good.
Perfect. Hey, if you get lonely, come check in with your friends at Intentional Talk. Stay healthy, and best of luck as we start 2020. Say hi to the rest of the Buccos, okay, pal?
Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and hopefully we get this started soon.